again, Artistic Director of the Belfast Maskers, and I am thrilled to have a chance to meet with this young man who I've known for a very, very long time. He's coming to us from LA, and this is Jake Tremblay. There you are.
Hey, Meg.
How are you? Oh my gosh.
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. You know, we're hanging in there, but boy, it's really nice to connect with faces that we knew when they were younger, and now they're doing it. They're living the dream, you know?
Yeah, I'm glad to be around at this point where we have the technology to do this and connect across the country.
I know, it's been really good in that way. So tell us about what your involvement with the Maskers was.
Oh goodness. The first show I tried out for was Once Upon a Mattress.
Mm-hmm.
I had been doing, I think during Into the Woods, which you directed.
Yes.
You cast me as Cinderella's father. Yes. One line I had to sing.
You were the steward, yeah.
I'm not a singer.
That was a fun show though.
It was. I think I enjoyed being in the pit band more. I was in the pit band for Grease and for West Side Story.
Yeah.
I liked that more for the musicals. But yeah, I got to be on stage for that one, which meant I had to show up at like 4 or something in the afternoon so that Diane Collar Wilson could put my face on.
Yes.
I was the first one in her chair. And then she told me about the Maskers and got me involved there. And then the next show that they were having was Once Upon a Mattress. Mm-hmm. So I tried out and I played the wizard in that one, which is pretty cool. I felt like that was a foreshadowing for what I do now.
Yeah, you're the backstage wizard, right?
Exactly. I feel like, you know, these sets and props they ask for sometimes, and picture cars and locations we're going to, like mansions and stuff. But it feels like we're making magic happen sometimes.
So tell everybody what you've done. Where did you go to school, and about the work that you do now?
Of course. Yeah. I mean, the Maskers definitely made me fall in love with theater. I ended up going to University of New Hampshire in Durham. Mm-hmm. Got my bachelor's in theater, and the focus was still acting at that point. I started doing some on-camera work there, and at this point I work in film. I like that we're able to capture that moment from theater.
Yeah.
Almost. It's not quite the same as live.
No.
It's just never quite the same. But it's close enough, and I feel like it's a way to capture that magic moment that happens in the best way we can. Mm-hmm. So I kind of transitioned into film work there. Went to New York City for a year. That's where I was acting in some commercials and some student films. I had some parts and stuff, and really got to see how film sets worked. Mm-hmm. There's a camera involved. There's it's not like a stage where people kind of sit and watch the whole thing. Mm-hmm. It's many more moving parts all the time and stuff. And a lot faster too. There's not really a rehearsal process.
Right.
And you usually only get 1 or 2 takes. You don't have like a run of shows that you can work on your delivery of that one line in Act 2 or something. It's kind of, you get what you get. So it's a different world, but I definitely draw on a lot of the things I learned. And it's still a collaborative art form, which was something I really loved about theater.
When did you move to LA?
I moved out here in 2015.
Okay.
6 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for people that don't know, Jake, what is a production designer?
A production designer, that's a great question. I didn't even know till I started working on film sets, which not everyone does. Mm-hmm. The production designer works with the director and the producer to come up with the sets, the props, basically everything you see on camera that is not on the actor. So I And I do talk with the wardrobe designer to make sure the colors work with
Right.
the sets so they don't clash with the costumes and
Mhm.
stuff. But yeah, if they need a castle, I provide a castle, whether it's finding locations that look like a castle or building some sets and hiring some scenic artists to make it look like stonework and stuff.
Mhm.
I do that, and then all of the props as well. If they need swords or guns or fire or a bowl that they're eating something out of,
Mhm.
like all of that. I had to do some fake ice cream on set last week and pulled out the mashed potatoes
Yeah.
'cause
There you go. Yeah.
it's a lot of the same tricks that I learned from theater,
That's
you
right.
know, the
That's right.
fishing line tricks to make a ghostly movement or something like. So I definitely, it's kind of all that behind the scenes magic
Mhm.
that then ends up creating a world for whatever thing to exist in. So um, I work a lot in commercials, so I'm also implementing a lot of color stories. I'm trying to sell something usually.
Mhm.
So convincing someone and telling a story really quickly in like 15 or 30 seconds or something, with everything they see on screen
Mhm.
um,
You
is,
have a whole team of
oh yeah,
workers
oh
that
yeah,
work. So it looks
yeah.
like how many of you work on a film, let's say?
Um, when I was first starting, sometimes it was just me. And I'd be running around trying to prep sets and be on camera and all of that. These days, though, I usually have at least a couple of assistants to help move furniture pieces or flats or something.
Mhm.
Um, and then bigger productions, if we're building a set or whatever, I have crews of 10, 20 people.
Yeah.
You got to manage those schedules. I'll usually at that point hire someone to manage the schedules, the time cards, and all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it can get really massive. Art department is one of the things that can really balloon in a budget, because if the director wants to add a scene, add a new place,
Mhm.
that's a whole new set.
Yeah.
You
Wow.
know, another truck sometimes. And
Mhm.
there's a lot of those things that I then have to communicate with the producer, kind of work back and forth to provide the vision,
Mhm.
but hopefully within the budget too.
You you've worked on music videos as well?
Yes. Yeah, I do a lot of music videos.
So
Again, they're short projects. I can like jump in, do it for a week or two, get something cool. And they're usually, I love narrative stuff as well.
yeah.
And you gotta be with the right team and stuff. I've done a couple of features. Those feel a lot more like theater,
Yeah.
like a TV show or something.
Yeah.
It's kind of in the same story for 3 months or so, and all the continuity and stuff
Mhm.
to track and all.
So
Um,
you've worked with some pretty big names.
a couple of names. Some just broke records at the Grammys. I got to
Yeah.
work with Beyonce on That
Uh,
Is King.
that must have been so awesome.
It was really amazing getting to see how that worked, because that entire it felt like a big machine that just showed up in this Beverly Hills mansion, and we were shooting in the pool and in this room and that room, and just so many things going at once, and it was all perfectly timed. She had different look, different dancers, like eh, it was amazing, which
Wow.
as one would expect.
Oh, yeah.
So,
How great is that?
yeah, but it also at the same time that I was, you know, just in awe of being able to be a part of it. Like it felt natural. It felt like another day of work, and getting to enjoy what I do, and people who are creative and artistic and
Yeah.
creating something out of their imagination.
But I imagine your work week is definitely not a 9 to 5.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
It'd be more like a 24/7 thing, right?
It can be. It can be. Yeah. I'm usually the one that's in direct contact with the director.
Yeah.
And if they have an inspiration at 11 o'clock at night or whatever, I have to be able to write it down and
Right.
make it happen.
So
That doesn't usually happen, but it can.
do you have a favorite masker memory that you want to share?
Favorite, there's a lot of good memories I have from the Maskers. There are a lot. And some of them are just memories. Most of my memories are from the railroad building down by the waterfront, which is no longer there.
No
I think
more.
there's a boat sitting there or something. So, a lot of them are just memories now, but I still have a picture in a frame, which I understand you have a digital version.
I do. Let me see if I can share this here.
This is a photo from Metamorphoses, which
Right.
I took part in. I think it was the fall of 2006. Wendy Schweikert directed it.
Yes.
There
you are.
That's me and Diane Colin Wilson.
There you are.
Playing my therapist, which is probably easy roles for us to fall into.
I have a cast shot too of Once Upon a Mattress here somewhere.
Oh yeah, if you can pull that up.
I know, it's amazing.
I actually got to make my costume for that one. Played the wizard.
Wizard. Here we go.
Yeah.
What?
That was a fun one. That was my first Maskers show. I remember the tryouts for that were at the library. Somewhere in there. I also I think the best costumes I got to wear though was during the Firebird.
Oh, the Firebird.
More put together these Russian costumes. I remember I was hiding under Baba Yaga's skirt.
Okay.
So many good memories. But yeah, I will say I think Metamorphoses was the show I remember doing where I was like, this is what I want to do. Like,
really?
At high school, they had us doing this thing where we were like, I'm sure Jared did it too and all, but we had to like pick our career thing and research it on a website or something.
Yeah.
I was doing like a lawyer and a psychiatrist, all these things. And then it was like, wait, if I'm an actor, I can do all of it. I can play all these different parts and do that. So I'm going to do that because I know I enjoy it. So
perfect.
That kind of, yeah. And then I was doing Metamorphoses at the time and playing, and that was an ensemble show. So we were all playing like 5 or 10 different roles throughout it and stuff. So,
yeah. Well, it just goes to show you how important not only arts in the schools are, but community theater. And look what it, what it opens up for people should they want to get into some performing art or tech job.
There's a lot more work actually behind the camera. Yeah, I will say.
What I understood. Yeah.
And they don't care if I cut my hair or something too. So
definitely.
It's a lot easier for me just in that regard. And I will say that's why I switched. My mental health was suffering too much with the acting. I was in New York City for a year and just it was too much for me. And I stepped back and ended up moving out to Los Angeles, which is nicer weather-wise.
I told you it was 27 right here.
I think it's 70 something.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
So that certainly helps. And getting to, still be involved and make that kind of magic happen. But kind of be behind the scenes and use some of the other skills I've learned, because I feel like that was what helped me kind of switch behind was I did lights with Jordy, I did sound with Neil, I
Mhm.
helped with this, of course, with the musicals at the high school. Everyone was involved.
That's
Those
right.
sets and everything.
Put a paintbrush in your hand.
Yeah, we had the front of a car up on that stage for
Yes,
Greece.
we did.
I mean, that, you know, that was really inspirational, and getting to be a part of that and be involved. You know, I think the hardest hurdle for me was the initial tryout and sign up to go to an audition, just to dip my toe in and see what it was going to be like.
Yeah,
And then
that's hard for everybody.
that's the hardest part, I will
It
say.
is.
But you got to do that, and once you do, it's a whole like magic world, you know. And it's important work too. It's storytelling. It's, you know, it's carrying
Very
on
important.
traditions. It's kind of building a family for people who, you know, I feel very blessed. My family's always been supportive. They always came to the shows and everything.
And your
Um,
family's still back here.
they're all in
A
Maine.
lot of your
Yeah,
family.
they're all still
Yeah.
in Maine. I'm the
Yeah.
only one out here in Los Angeles. They come out and visit sometimes, and we go to Disneyland or whatever.
Oh. So, and any advice, Jake, like for somebody that thinks, you know, I think I want to do this for the rest of my life, whatever part it is, what would you tell them?
Um, Try and learn about as much about it as you can, and take every day as a learning thing. And I mean, that's something I love about it, is every day is a new day. Every
Yeah.
day we're telling a different story, even if it's part of the bigger story of a feature or something. Every day is its own little slice of a story. Or every rehearsal
Mhm.
in a show, every one of those is its own opportunity to learn something, and to, I guess, discover more of an appreciation for why we do what we do.
Mm.
So having that appreciation and gratitude every day to be a part of something so magical, I think that's really important.
Wonderful. Well, good advice. Yeah. Anything else you want to tell us?
I would say continue supporting this magical community that I feel like the maskers have always stood out to me as an example of a community theater. And during my time,
Mhm.
at least, back in 2005, 2007,
Mhm.
almost 20 years ago.
Don't remind me. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I think the last time you
Oh.
saw me, I didn't have gray hair. So
Yeah, it's a new cut. I've got a new cut too. I
got
cut
a new
mine
cut
off
too. I
during
like it.
quarantine.
I like
But the community support and the community involvement. I used to love looking through the programs and seeing all the different businesses who would, you know, pledge to support the show I was a part of. That always felt really magical, and I feel like added an extra energy into the performances and into what we were able to offer, because we knew it was something that the community felt was important.
Right.
So
Yeah. Well, and we
I
still
wish that was
are.
more. I wish there were more of those,
We're blessed.
more opportunities, especially for young people.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah,
Um,
it's very
Yep.
formative.
so it's, you know, it's wonderful that we've been able to keep it going all these years. The hard work of
Thank you.
volunteers and you know, those of you that were part of it, and that it had a real positive effect, you know, on what you decided to do with your life.
100%.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
you've been very successful, and we're very proud.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say who, but there's a couple more music videos coming out soon that
Oh,
I just got to
all
work
right.
on. So
Gonna look at the credits and
keep your
find your
eyes
name.
tuned.
Yeah. Awesome.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Jake, this has been wonderful to reconnect with you, and we really appreciate you doing this interview for us. And again, it's wonderful to see you. And
Well, it's wonderful to see you too, Meg. I'm so glad, and I have to extend my gratitude to you too for keeping the maskers alive and
Thank you.
having something that I can, that's not just a memory. I get to have new memories now.
Right,
This
right.
sort of thing.
Well, we
So
certainly, we
thank
have a
you.
lot of people working hard, and that's what's wonderful about theater, the passion that people have for it. Because it takes a village, right?
It really does. It's a collaborative art form that forces you to be social, and you really, and the more connected and creative you are with each other in that environment, the better it is.
Absolutely.
Kind of look at it like it's exponential. So,
Yeah. All right, Jake, I'm going to stop, but hang around because I'm going to need to talk to you afterwards for a little bit. But again, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.